Hold on to something.
It's showtime.
No, wait. I have done everything I've been asked to do. I didn't understand it, but I've done it. And I haven't once asked what's in it for me.
What are you saying, Ray?
I'm saying, what's in it for me?
Raymond, am I using you, Raymond?
This is the Total Sports Experience.
There's going to be rumors about this. There's no way to stop it.
And now your host,
Hey, Ray, are you in here?
Ray Baker.
I missed going 5-hole on you.
You should never be allowed to talk to people.
Dude, that was a hell of an intro. I am honored and I am touched.
Welcome in, everybody. How is everybody? It's a great Wednesday. Welcome back, you guys. Let me turn on Instagram Live as well. And we're turning on Instagram Live now as well. Welcome to the program. Welcome to our weekly chat session here. So excited to be with you guys today. It's awesome. Today is the last show of 2020. And as we wrap things up here, it looks like this is going to be the last, a lot of things of this year, and that people are putting behind them for sure, because 2020, let's face it, has not been fantastic. I'm just going to throw that out there. You guys, I'm sure, are in agreement of that. But welcome into the show, the last show of 2020 here. And we're just going to go over, you know what, this is kind of a wrap-up show. Not wrap-up on our show, just a wrap-up of everything that is 2020 in sports. And we picked out 20 things that we think were the biggest sports moments, if you will, of 2020. So we want to go over that with you guys and get your opinions, get your chats, get everything on this. I'm just looking at Instagram, and I've got listeners on Instagram. I can wave at you guys. I'm going to see if I can just throw the waves out on Instagram right there. Instagram is down here. If you'll look over the top, we're everywhere right now, you guys. Facebook Live, Twitch. We've got Instagram Live on here. We're on YouTube Live. We're on Mixcloud today. So we have a lot of this that's on, and we're so excited that you guys are joining us, and it's pretty awesome. I'm going to send out a chat. If someone can send us a chat just so we can test this and make sure, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Mixcloud or Twitch, send us a chat. I just got one from listener Gina. Thank you so much. The smiley faces are rad. So I'm going to keep going back and forth between Instagram and try to keep up with everybody as we go through all of the different stuff. So thank you guys again for being with us today and being with us here on the last show of 2020. As you all know, one of the things that we do here on the show, on the program, we do it on the podcast, we do it on the radio show, we do it here with our weekly wrap-up, is we try to highlight one small business a week that may need some help, may need a little bit of love, may need a little hug, something like that. The guys at Barstool Sports back east do an amazing job where they have been getting funding and donations and all kinds of stuff like that, and then giving that out and helping some of these small businesses all across the country really keep their head above water, which they all need right now. And I could not be more in agreement with what the guys at Barstool are doing. So hats off to Dave Portnoy and all of the guys at Barstool Funds. We'll put a link on the website to that if you want to help donate to that, because it's such an amazing thing that they're doing. And you want a feel-good video, go watch the guys at Barstool Sports. Contact some of these guys that letting them know they're going to help. It's an amazing thing. Instagram Live listener Jameson, well, it's JJ Jameson, says, "See you 2020." Could not agree more. It's pretty awesome. So our business highlight for today and for this week is on your screen right now. Instagram Live. I apologize. It is on Facebook. It is on Twitch, on Mixcloud, on YouTube. But go to this. Here's our business for the week. It's SoCal Fitness. My friends over SoCal Fitness have been so gracious to allow us to put their name out there and, you know, pump the company. They play hard, they train smart, and they live strong. And it's just all about, these guys do an amazing job of helping people stay in their right mind, in the fitness for their mind, fitness for their body, and just staying strong, trying to stay as healthy as possible. right now with COVID and with everything that everybody's going through, that's a hard thing to do. And so if you need some help, you need some guidance, you need somebody to just kind of walk with you and help you out, my guys over at SoCal Fitness do an amazing job. Go right now, and if you're on one of our many outlets here, go on to another tab and go to SoCalFit.com. Hit up my guy Steve over there at SoCalFit.com, and he is going to hook you up. By the way, 5-star Yelp. I mean, that's pretty darn good. We're not on Yelp because we just don't do that. I'm sure we'd have 5 stars, but these guys already have it. 5-star Yelp. Give him a call and tell him that we sent you from the TSE. 714-955-1284, or go to SoCalFit.com and tell Steve that your guys over here at the TSE sent you. By the way, if you go onto their website, which is pretty awesome, and you scroll down, you'll see the banner that's on your screen right now on IG Live. I apologize, but if you go to their website right now at SoCalFit.com, you can scroll down and find a banner that says get a free personal training session. They will give that out to you guys for free. 1 free personal training session. Who does that? You can submit that right there on the website. And again, my guy Steve and all the crew over there at SoCalFit will help you out. So we wanted to make sure, look, if you're looking for an outlet, you're looking for something to help get your mind right and focus on something and get your body right and go forward, this is the way to do it. SoCalFit.com, and SoCal Fitness is our business of the week. So again, thank you for those guys and Steve and everybody over there. So with 2020 being wrapped up and us trying to figure out on this last show what to do, what to say, what to give you, we could have had a guest on. Now that we're going live with these weekly shows, there's a lot of stuff popping up. We're going to show these throughout the program tonight, but there's so much stuff. But I figured we'd wrap up 2020, and I looked and I went and found 20 of the, I don't know if the best sports moments of the year. Definitely ones that stood out to me, so I wanted to share these with you, and then I wanted to get your comments and your basically what you think of these as well. To see if you agree with me on some of these. I'm gonna try to keep my chat window open at the same time. I'm working on this, so I'm gonna go back and forth. But as you all know, 2020, as far as sports wise goes, was not normal at all, and we're gonna touch on some of that stuff. Global health crisis, pandemics. There's still a lot of stuff that we can go back and look at. Here's the countdown. Here's number 1. And we're going to go in time order here and just show you guys. And on Instagram Live, if you're looking at it, we'll point that out to you as well. But the number 1 is the LSU Tigers. Way back in January, almost a year ago, the LSU Tigers won the national championship behind Joe Burrow. Just leading them. Led Heisman winner, Joe Burrow. By the way, 60 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for the LSU Tigers. LSU, by the way, in that game, had a 21-point second quarter to roll past Clemson, if you guys remember that one, 42-25 to win the national championship. And then, of course, they went 15-0. The list that I pulled this from said this team might be one of the greatest ever at 15-0. That is a whole nother show and podcast. If you follow the TSE, we do that quite often. So we will definitely get into that. But Joe Burrow, the LSU Tigers. The second thing that happened is we move forward one more month, and hail to the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Most football fans, without an established rooting interest anyway, just hope for the Super Bowl to be competitive and to be good and to be entertaining. With that said, the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs gave us a Super Bowl to remember. If you remember, the Chiefs were trailing 21-10 after 3 quarters. Chiefs came back and scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth, erased it. Patrick Mahomes touchdown passes to win it, helped they win again 31-21 and claim their first title since 1969. And again, Patrick Mahomes, the MVP of that Super Bowl. So that was number 2. Number 3, and I didn't want to put this in there, but I figured I had to. Unfortunately, in February, we lost a legend. We lost one of the nicest guys in sports. We lost Kobe Bryant. to a tragic accident, him and his daughter. So we definitely wanted to put this into, and I know that's a sad moment for that, and you know it's terrible, but we definitely had to put that in there. Just saying goodbye to an absolute legend. This was about a month after, on February 24th, which again was his number 24, and then to celebrate his legacy and what he put on basketball, and more importantly, what he did for the Los Angeles Lakers. So, saying goodbye to a legend. Thank you, Kobe. We move to the next month, and NBA, and remember, at this point, we're still going strong, guys. Right? We're still going. We've got basketball. We've got sports. We've got everything going. Kawhi Leonard wins the MVP less than a month after Kobe's death. The All-Star Game, donning the award with his name on it. The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, who scored 30 points in helping Team LeBron beat Team Giannis 157-155 in the All-Star Game there in Chicago. Not just any other All-Star Game event, definitely. Still mourning Kobe's death, and that was a hard one to go through. But congratulations to Kawhi Leonard on an MVP in the All-Star Game. This is where the wheels began to come off the bus. We hit March, and typically in sports, when you hear the word March, you may, depending on what sports you follow, you may have certain things that you pay attention to. It may be, hockey's in full swing. Baseball is beginning to start. However, the first thing that comes to my mind as a sports broadcaster is March Madness. There was no madness in March in the year 2020. That is when the first signs of COVID had hit. Listener Gina just mentioned March Madness. Yeah, and it's listen, when they canceled March Madness and canceled the entire tournament at that point, I think that's when, is at least for me and for my crew, that's when we kind of knew things were going to start going south. So they canceled all of March Madness due to COVID. I mean, unfortunately, all the COVID stuff. So the cancellation of other collegiate national championships for the winter and the spring seasons followed quickly after that. And there was no national championship this year in college basketball. There will be another podcast and definitely another episode where we chat about that and what the effects that might have on some of these guys that use the March Madness and the tournament to make a name for themselves, put their draft stock up, and that kind of thing. So a lot of things that went south at that point. We move to now the NFL, and when I mentioned when I mentioned March in the last slide, we now move to April, and we were in full swing for global pandemic. Schools had gone home. We started this thing called remote learning. And by the way, if you look at the screen right now, and Instagram Live, I apologize. I'm going to get to Jameson's question on Instagram Live. I apologize. Jameson will get right to you. But if you look at the screen, if you think that we would get through an entire show at any point without showing my Buffalo Bills, you are dead wrong. Here you go. Anyway, so we started remote learning, remote working, remote meetings, remote everything. So why not a remote NFL draft? And that's exactly what they did. That is what 2020 is all about. The wonders of technology and limits of the coronavirus pandemic turned what would be a 3-day draft party, by the way, in Nevada, into an all-virtual event spanning offices and living rooms across the country. The Cincinnati Bengals, obviously number 1 overall, select what I mentioned before, Joe Burrow, from those LSU Tigers, and they did it via video conference. And when you really look at everything in all seriousness on what we were going through, listener Maria, what's up? When you really kind of look at everything, at the end of the 3 days, it really went off with, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't crazy bad like we thought it was going to be. I'm going to look at a question real quick because the Buffalo Bills came up. A listener, Jameson, says, did you hear about the Bills news for the first playoff games? I did, and I think of what Jameson is mentioning, the Buffalo Bills, and if anybody's a Bills fan, just give me a thumbs up or a high five or smiley face or something somewhere. But the Buffalo Bills have decided to let fans be at the first wild card game coming up in a couple of weeks. That's big. Now, whether or not you agree with it or not, every state's different. We broadcast here from Los Angeles, California, which is a terrible place to be right now for COVID. But the Buffalo Bills are going to have some fans. They're going to limit the fans to 6,700 fans in the stand for that playoff game. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a Buffalo Bills fan or you don't know or you weren't sure, Buffalo, no team wants to go to Buffalo and play football in Buffalo in January. Nobody. Why? Because it's terrible weather. It's snowing, it's cold, and now you're going to put 6,700 rabid football fans in the stands. It's going to sound like 50,000. I cannot wait for more playoff football. So, Jameson, thank you very much for that. She's saying, yep, that's what it is. Yep. Good job, listener Jameson. I appreciate that. The next thing was we are starting to get back. For those of you on IG Live, it is NASCAR. NASCAR was one of the first things after creatively turning to iRacing when the pandemic halted NASCAR in March. The circuit eventually returned to the track, and earlier than most other professional sports. The cars were back on the track in May, running 7 events over an 11-day span. Fans were also let into the stands, 30,000 people only, when they went to Bristol. The season resumed and was completed without too many issues. The off-track controversy involving Bubba Wallace and stuff like that we'll get into. But Chase Elliott won NASCAR's Cup Series champion, so good job there to Chase Elliott, and good job on NASCAR for helping us bring that back and get it going again. This one was fun, and here's why. For those of you on IG Live, I'm going to explain it to you right now. But for those of you on Facebook, Mixcloud, Twitch, all those other ones, it took 30 years. But Liverpool finally earned another championship in the top flight of the English football. Paced by the star forward Mo Salah, who had 19 goals. And Sadio Mane, 18 goals. The Reds went 32-3-3. Posting 99 points to roll their first English Premier League soccer title since it became known as the EPL. Overall, it was Liverpool's 19th time winning the highest level of football in England. You'll Never Walk Alone has never sounded so sweet. So congratulations to Liverpool and the Reds, who put up an amazing season. And again, 32-3-3 is absurdly good. Then we move to what we thought was going to get things back to normal. We hoped anyway. There was a time in March, April, and into May when sports fans were not sure if anything in North America, as far as professional leagues, would return to the court, the ice, the pitch, what have you, in 2020. We just didn't know. Once summer rolled around, we thought maybe we could get some good news. It all looked a little different when it did. The MLS marked its return with a bubble-style tournament in Florida, the same state where the NBA resumed its season with a similar style bubble. They started in late July. The WNBA played its entire season inside of a wubble, and that's quoted wubble, and that's WNBA, not me. Okay, they were also in Florida. The NHL resumed play with a new expanded playoff format in early October, which is when we were supposed to start the next season, but they played that in a bubble as well, where they went to Toronto and into Edmonton and played bubble games that way, and then ended up at Rogers Place in Edmonton for the Stanley Cup final. So things started to get back to, well, not normal, but things started to come back at that point. Then we have baseball. It was great to see the other major North American sports get back into the action. Most eyes of the sports fans were fixed on when and where Major League Baseball would start its season. And if you guys remember, there was a lot of discussion with the Players Association and with Major League Baseball on were they going to do 60 games, were they going to do 80 games or 100 games, were they going to try it in a bubble, were they going to do this? It was kind of all over the place. Major League Baseball would start its season, finally, after plenty of back and forth between the league and the Players Union. The first pitch of the 2020 season was thrown on July 23rd. On that first game, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants in a completely empty stadium. At that point, the Washington Nationals hosted the New York Yankees, again, in a rain-shortened contest, but a completely empty stadium. As you can see the picture there on IG Live, I apologize, but we have a picture of Yankee Stadium, and there's not one person in the stands. It was weird. Before we get to the second 10, I wanted to let you guys know something. The Total Sports Experience, the live shows, listener Anna says, best stadium ever. I don't know. I've been to Yankee Stadium. It's great, but best stadium ever. That'll be another contest. That'll be another discussion. We do have live shows, and we have been asked to come on location. Now, we were going to look at this and try to wait till the new year. The New Year's happened, and we've had places now ask us to come out and do live shows with them. Mountain Mike's Pizza is the first place that we have got into, and they said, yeah, the owner said, yes, we would love to have you come out. So we're going to do some live shows for you. Look on the website, TSEshow.com. We're going to go out there on the 9th and 10th of July. I'm sorry, July. Wow. See how weird I am right now? The 9th and 10th of January is Wild Card Weekend for the NFL. So we're going to do 2 shows from Mountain Mike's Pizza in Fountain Valley. If you look on your screen right now, it's got the address right there on Brooker Street. And we're going to go out there and do the 9th and 10th for NFL Wild Card Weekend. We're going to have a special guest on the 9th. Can't let you know who that is yet. And we're going to have some special guests on the 10th as well. But come out. You can high-five us from a distance, 6 feet, high-five us, do all that. Come out. We're going to give away some special coupons. We're going to give away a free pizza. We're going to give away all kinds of stuff. It's going to be awesome. And if you come in to pick up your pizza, you can't eat with us. I know, fans, you want to eat with me. I know. You cannot yet, but we're getting there. So, the 9th and the 10th of January. We're also going to do the 23rd and 24th of January, which is 2 weeks later. Why, you ask? Well, because we have UFC 257 on the 23rd. So we're going to do a 90-minute show before the prelims start so we can get you all home with fresh, hot, delicious pizza right before all the prelims start. And, of course, UFC 257 is Conor McGregor on the main card. Then the 24th, we'll be there again. And Listener G says their pizza is good. Their pizza is pretty amazing. If you've not had Mountain Mike's Pizza, give us email us or hit us up or something like that, and we'll get you some discounts on some great pizza. But anyhow, the 24th is AFC NFC Championship weekend for the NFL, so we will be there in between those 2 games and discuss who is going to go to the Super Bowl and what that's going to look like. And